Yo, what's up guys? Welcome in. Upcoming EVA Pilot Overview. Each pilot offers two gameplay styles, giving flexibility depending on your builds and team needs. Asuka Fighter Class. Best polearm pilots on CN server so far. Main role Fighter. Can also play Raider, and it's not a joke. Similar to Kaidan fighter mechanics, can act again after destroying a part. High mobility, has access to link attacks, just like standard raiders. Rei Guardian class, tank and support. Known as a PvP queen and highly recommended for PvP. First Guardian that can protect allies from melee attacks. A must-have if you want to counter future enemies. Two playstyles. Defensive Guardian, recommended for PvP, and Support Guardian, recommended for PvE. Provides team buffs, can perform up to 3 link attacks. Shinji, Raider and Sniper, 3 pilots to obtain from event, and his ST with very strong stats. To fully max Shinji, we need 550 pulls. Detail to be discussed later. Can be played as a Raider and Sniper, his main and strongest build. Asuka is a strong polearm pilot who mainly focus on 2 core skills. Skill 1 costs 3 AP, jump type skill that guarantee body hit. Skill 2 costs 4 AP, line AoE attack, similar to Shawnee. Can enter AoE mode and can hit multiply targets, always hitting the body, but with limitation. Very AP hungry, especially the AoE skill. Each time AoE skill is used, AP cost increase by 1. Important mechanic. Both main skills are code skills, not standard active skills. In-game, skills are divided into active skills and code skills. Not all modules, backpacks, or accessories work with code skills, which limit build options. Active skills contra code skills. Important difference. When accessories, modules, or backpacks say initiating combat or in combat, only active skills will trigger those effects. When it comes to active skills, enemy enters combat, enemy can react or counter-attack. For code skill, usually AoE attacks or range single target skill. In this situation, enemy does not enter combat. Funny, they kinda looks they are, thanks to animation, but they not. Enemy cannot react or counter-attack. Example of code skills: Asuka jump skill, Marcus sabot skill, AoE skills or range skills. In these cases, the attack happens, damage is dealt, but combat is not initiated. At least from enemy side, we can see animation, but this doesn't count to combat, and that's why they are code skills. Important exception: if talent, backpack, accessory, or module say when attacking or when actively attacking, it applies to both active skills and code skills. Because of this, Dread Talon, which say in combat, or Rex, which say when initiating combat, works for active skills, but doesn't work for code skills. As a result, Asuka has limited module options. So we have few options. Ranger provide consistent 20% damage, best choice when there are few enemies on the map. Malthus, high potential pick, my favorite. Malthus module give a separate pilot buff. Once activated, the buff lasts for 2 turns. Asuka usually throw her polearm at least twice per turn. You only need to hit 3 enemies per turn to maintain 30% damage buff. Once active, jump skill or throw skill Asuka keeps 30% damage at all times. Higher damage ceiling than Ranger, but requires multiple targets to maintain. Asuka module advantage. The good news is that Asuka only needs 2 modules. There is no need to craft a full 4-piece set. Asuka ST has unique module bonuses, body and leg connectors double module effect. By slotting Ranger or Malthus in the body and leg slot, we gain a full 4-piece set bonus just by using only 2 modules. This is very powerful. If future modules get power crept, Asuka can easily slot them in. You will always have 2 free module slots to customize your build. And for ARM slot recommendation, since using incomplete 4-piece set isn't worth, at least for now, the best choices: whole arm damage, crit rate and crit damage. My personal build: 2 Malthus in body and leg, and for arms, whole arm damage and crit rate. Since Asuka mainly uses code skills, accessory options are limited too. AoE just only apply to her line AoE skill. For AP skills or above also, and HP above 50% or HP equal 100%. This effect apply to both code skills, jump skill and line AoE. Recommended reaction accessories. Some of the best reaction are damage buff and crit rate. Why these work well? Asuka heavily focus on crit rate. Once triggered, this buff lasts the current turn and next turn. Single trigger setup can be inconsistent. My choice: 2 trigger accessories and 2 reaction accessories. This will be my build on release for Asuka. If you obtain W accessories, switch to them. They are better and have higher trigger rates. Backpack choice. Because of the code skills, armor backpack does not work. Damage backpack doesn't work. Best option: re-atk backpack plus accelerator. How many Asuka copies should you pull? All EVA pilots has unique synchronization rate SR mechanic. Each pilot has SR bar. The more you fill the bar, the stronger pilot becomes. A3 Asuka provides additional SR on deployment, extra damage when there are 3 or more enemies within 2 tiles. The second effect is hard to trigger, but extra SR on deploy is very important to help Asuka reach max SR faster. And here we go, recommended pull plan. Depends how lucky you'll be with Asuka ST. My plan is double Asuka ST, double Asuka copies, use 2 pledges to reach A3 Asuka, and the rest spent on Rei pilot, not Rei ST. Do we need A5 Asuka? Asuka is very AP hungry. Some stages may require, like I said, A5 for 1 turn clearance ops. A3 is enough for normal play and progression. So, depending on your luck, going to A5 can be considered, but it's not mandatory. Recommended bindings to spend, of course 5, since you'll be strong for a long time for PvE content. Each EVA pilot has 2 unique sectors, and both can be used. For Asuka, we'll be going Sector 2. The most important, what I like from Sector 2, we increase SR when we deal damage and don't decrease anymore when taking damage. And when we max Sector 2, we gain 1 extra AP, which is important for Asuka, because her line AoE costs a lot, if you cast them very often. Asuka's signature weapon boosts from 20% to 30%, and that buff we gain upon deployment, which is a huge. boost additional SR when we destroy target, and more damage multiplier. The super downside, this weapon is from ARM Conquest number 14. Totally they forget about Asuka. And Signature Weapon is way too late. Still, she'll be fine without that weapon and carry us in many stages. Proc Cons, she can be Raider, and this is no joke. I'll explain more in Asuka guide and recommended build. But keep in mind, it's optional. Her best build will be Fighter. She has high mobility and good reach enemies thanks to her code skills. And most important, all 2 code skills can aim body. Downside, her signature is way too late, and her backpacks, accessories and modules are limited, which mean make difficult to set up. What you need to know about Rei. First, Guardian who can protect allies from melee weapons. One of the best PvP pilots. Strongly recommended if you want to counter future Aines, who would dominate PvP. Can deal damage, mainly through her self-destruct shield skill. Can swap position, extremely powerful in PvP for surprise combos and also useful for rush teams in PvE. She can be also decent in PvE. Support Guardian who can buff your team and up to 3 link attacks. Right now, we don't have good Guardian modules, so use whatever you have. Gilles or Diaz or just damage taken, which is a good and should be soon in the shop. Should you pull Rei ST? Personally, I do not plan to pull Rei ST. I will wait for the free event Republic of Gamer ST instead. Don't take me wrong, Rei ST is strong for Guardians, but can be flexible for other pilots. Works well for Rei and other Guardians, Erisa, potentially future Adele. This is not the power issue, but I want to save more for future pilots. After Asuka, before Rosa and after Rosa, there will be more interesting non-meta pilots that I want to play on global. Final decision will depend on the luck with Asuka ST and her banner. For accessories, standard Guardian accessory set and backpacks, attack jammer or guard amplifier. What about Rei talent? She is fine A0 for both PvP and PvE, but of course for PvP she wants Ascension as much as possible. Let's say I will max Asuka in 400 pulls. That 150 pulls left will not go for Rei ST. It's personal choice. I will pull more copies Rei. Rei recommended bindings for PvE is 0, and if you invest more, then Sector 2. And for PvP, recommended minimum is 2 for unlimited guards and extra move 2 tiles, and go Sector 1 instead. Rei Signature Weapon. It's one of my favorite large shield for all Guardians. 2 universal passive, work for any Guardians, and 1 will auto-recover shield to 50% HP once get destroyed. Very strong. Rei passive grant allies minus 25 damage taken, super strong, and if you care using Rei in PvP, she also will do more damage. Her signature will be first from all 3 EVA pilots, but still a little bit far away since from ARM Conquest number 10, together with Fia Signature Weapon. Proc Cons, Queen in PvP thanks to protection from melee attacks, can swap position for rush strategies, and strong in PvP. She can also deal damage with her self-destruct shield skill. What about downside? Actually for Guardian role I don't see many, only that If you completely don't care about PvP, you can be fine without her in PvE. She can be good support and link support damage dealer, but most stages we don't need Guardian. She isn't the best for PvE content, which, like I said, it's not really big downside. She is designed for PvP and she is recommended for PvP. Shinji, free pilot to obtain from the event. Many have heard we need 550 pulls for the EVA Collab. Here is how it works. We have 11 rewards to choose. You can redeem one reward every 50 pulls. That's why the full 550 pulls are often mentioned. What you get at 550 pulls: A2 Shinji and Shinji ST rank 3. The rest of Shinji copies can be obtained for free via the event, for example through event challenges. Do we really need 550 pulls? No, we don't need to reach 550 pulls if your goal is just maxing Asuka. These pulls are only required if you want to fully max at Shinji. Do I recommend? Yes, Shinji is a strong pilot with powerful medium ST, and getting him fully max greatly improve team flexibility. Despite Shinji is a raider, his recommended build will be Sniper, 2 offensive sniper skills that can aim and ignore any damage reduction effect. Shinji ST has a legendary OP stats like crazy high. Best modules: Rex, Dread Talon, Ranger or just Sniper Rifle. 4P set, not the best, just 15% if enemy cannot retaliate. And Rainbow set is exactly same like Rex ST. At the max level, it's actually OP for his talent and Rex modules. Shinji is buff dependent. We need buff to activate re-atk. That's why his best modules will be Rex, since each buff adds as a separate buff, and if we combine this with Shinji ST at the max level, each buff Shinji will gain for 3 turns. If you max Shinji talent, we gain additional SR and extra buff if Asuka or Rei is in the team. For accessories, just prepare same set like for any snipers, and backpacks any damage is fine. If you don't have, then armor jammer or stealth backpack. Shinji signature weapon is unfortunate heavy machine gun, which means if you keep him as a sniper build, then skip for you. But in the future, he'll be using switch backpack with sniper and heavy machine gun for special combos. That weapon comes from Arm Conquest number 12, together with Melissa weapon. Shinji is flexible and can run 2 sectors. Depends on your build. We may go sector 1 or sector 2. My recommended minimum bionics to spend is 3 for sector 2. Deep dive in the guide. Proc and Cons. Shinji is free to obtain from event. He has aim body skill and will be strong sniper, and can be raider like Asuka. Downside: he can only re-attack twice, and with condition, so he isn't best for mobs. He will be good for bosses though, since he can re-attack without destroying parts, like Kelly, and poke twice and hit body part, which is a huge. Alright, that's all from me, and wait for the deep dive guides for each pilot. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya!